Hey, we are with Grant Wilson talking about priorities and holding our tongue today. Man, Grant, you are a man of many opinions. So tell us a little bit about how that works for you.
I'm constantly reminded of the importance of what we're talking about because it's real easy to get thrown into the other side of it. I'm like anybody else, only my opinions are strong and they've come about not as knee jerk, but through thoughtful, deliberative, contemplation and have come to them. But it just struck me as we were talking 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, that, like we've spoken about many times, they can get in the way. Holding your tongue, what James is talking about, is really, it's remarkable. The Bible is just a remarkable ongoing resource.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, as you and I have discussed, there's two kinds of people. There's the saved, and there's the ones that need to be saved.
Yeah.
And everything else just kind of ties for second. It just does.
Yeah. And you closed out your article by just talking about how kind of keeping that in mind, where you wouldn't mind, you didn't use the word insult, but kind of, ticking off somebody into heaven versus just like letting them kind of ease in without addressing that. How do you keep that priority in front of you? Like, how do you keep that priority of, I don't want to insult you, but if I did, and then you found Jesus, that would be okay with me?
I don't always do it successfully. I'm trying. I'm praying about it a lot. Prayed about it a lot last night. I just realized that, I'm not going to do, I've got, my background in entertainment, theater, TV, films, and, now music. We play all over the country. And I've run into a lot of people that, are from different sides of the spectrums and that are living lives that are just not conducive with what the Bible talks about. Now, I can just say, hey, that's cool. That's fine. And we can get along great. And I can just love on them. And they can say, yeah, Grant's Christian, but he's so cool. Yeah. Or I can tell them the truth, and I don't want to stand in front of God and say, yeah, I kind of sold it light because I didn't want to offend him. And I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm also not going to BS anybody.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of it in my own life plenty of times. And I'm glad that there's been people along the way that go, that's terrific, Grant. I understand the temptation. Let's look at what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Go back to that foundation.
What do you think God thinks of that?
Yeah.
You and I have talked about it. We talked about some positions that I've completely turned 180 degrees on over, the course of several years of thinking about it, praying about it, talking about it. And, it's like, God, this will come as a terrible shock to you, but you're right. And I was wrong.
I'm happy God. Maybe God does keep track.
There, God, but it's true.
Right. God, because he knows everything, I suppose he does keep track of all those things, but I'm happy he doesn't hold those areas of like, kind of told you so. He doesn't do the told you so too often.
Aren't you glad he's got a sense of humor? Because we're made in his image, so he's got to have a sense of humor. Because times I can, God, you're not going to believe this, but X, Y, and Z. He goes, Grant, thanks for telling me. I missed that.
Right. Yeah. When your parent gets that Cheshire cat look on their face, like, good enough. I know you're right, Dad. Yeah. I know you're right, Mom. Okay, I finally caught up.
That out.
Right. You tell the story of a conversation you had with somebody during COVID, and that is kind of like blew up. It sounds like in the moment, but you've kept relationship, and now it sounds you guys are a little bit restored.
We're still very good friends.
Tell us a little bit about kind of why sounds like you maybe chose to hold your tongue back in 2020, 2021, so that maybe you keep the relationship. Is that right?
History there. We've known each other since the Boy Scouts, so there's been plenty of times when I haven't held my tongue. He knows exactly where I'm coming from, and we're on opposite sides of the political spectrum. We grew up in the same area. Obviously, we're in the Boy Scouts together. And he bought into the culture, and I couldn't wait to get away from the culture. And so, there's a history where he knows where I'm coming from. So when I called him, let's not get me off the hook. I called him during COVID because I heard that it had hit his area of Minnesota particularly hard. I just want to make sure he was okay. So I said, hey, just wanted to make sure you're okay. And within minutes, he was unloading on me about not being vaccinated, being part of the problem, and, all this stuff. And it would have been really easy to throw back facts and instinctual skepticism about what was being sold. And instead, it's like, why escalate this? What's more
Yeah.
important to me?
Yeah.
His friendship, the eventual chance to talk to him about Jesus, or getting in his face and proving I'm right and he's wrong. Darn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes.
I did hold my tongue. We are still friends. I know he felt really bad because at the end of the conversation, I just said, "Hey, Slay, I just called to make sure you and your family are okay, man. That's all."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I said, we said goodbye. And 9 months, a year later, I got a call and it was clear, let's kiss and make up call, when we never
Yeah.
really addressed it. But I called him again 6 months to a year later, and it's like nothing ever happened. And
Yeah.
that's good because we've got things we need to talk about. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
closer than it's ever been, as you and I have discussed.
Yes.
I probably think it's even closer than you think. And I know I think it's closer than Ron thinks, but that's why he was run out of the clergy. Just kidding,
Right,
kidding.
right,
Ron was
right.
not run out of the clergy. He's 110 years old and retired.
And hopefully, well, all y'all, you'll meet Ron one of these days. So, hey,
Yeah, make sure he sees the 110 comment. He's really not, folks. He's about 102 or something, but I just,
well, Grant, thank you so much for your insight today. It's something that we all go through, and we will talk to you again on a Going Deeper shortly. All right, have a good one, man.
Thanks, man. See ya.